So, when I was in high school, not that I'm not now, but even more so when I was in high school, I was a big fan of dirt bikes, like motocross, supercross, that kind of thing. I was big into it, and I had a dirt bike, and like not long after I got my license, I wanted to start taking my dirt bike places, man, because up until that point, me and my dad had only gone and ridden together. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love riding with my dad. It was fun. But there's something about the freedom of just loading your own dirt bike into the back of your own truck and going and doing something solo, like just with a friend. Like
Totally.
Yeah,
all the way up
100%.
to this point, you've done everything with your parents, and you're like, man, like I could go ride with my
It's like
friend.
leaving the neighborhood on your bicycle for the first time when you're like 10.
Yeah.
You're like, yo.
Throughout life, you get a couple of those moments.
Yep.
Start posting on Instagram. Man, the world's so big. We've explored none of it. We're going.
So the problem was my dad didn't trust me. He was like, A, I don't like the fact that you're driving now. B, I don't like the fact that you can also take your... What are you doing?
I'm turning you up because you're quiet.
Yeah, you're talking real quiet.
Oh, I'm talking real quiet. Oh, my bad.
What the heck bird is that?
I don't know. But what are you doing, Caleb?
We're
Caleb's super
adjusting your
distracted.
levels,
I'm
so
sorry.
just keep...
I'm trying to be a podcast person, but I might be just making
you just
it
keep
worse.
making weird faces that distract me.
Sorry, I saw it go into the red
Keep
for a
talking
second.
through it, because when you stop talking, we don't know what your levels are. So every time you stop, we're like, no. We're adjusting you. Keep
Okay.
talking. Tell
Okay.
your story. Dirt bikes.
So, yeah. So my dad didn't trust me to take me anywhere, and
Sorry, we're adjusting your levels. Keep talking, please.
okay,
Also, don't point with the microphone.
my bad.
There you go.
So, yeah, my dad wouldn't let me take it anywhere and then one day my friend invited me over to his house. He's like, hey, I found some trails by my house. Like, they're really fun to ride. Like, it'd be really awesome if you could bring your dirt bike over. Problem was, it was in the middle of the week, and like my dad was at work, so like I would have to take the bike there by myself, right? So I call my dad, and I'm like, Dad, like, come on, like it's just 20 minutes away. I'm just gonna go over to Zach's house, and we're just gonna ride, and like I'll be back home. It'll be fine. And he's like, no, because you're gonna be dumb, and you're gonna get over there, and you're gonna hurt yourself, and you're gonna end up in the hospital. I was like, come on, Dad. Like, please, like, whatever. And it finally...
You begged.
Yeah, finally, he's like, you know what? Fine. Like, go over there. He's like, but if something happens, don't call me. Don't come running to me, because I'm already foreshadowing something's going to happen. It's like, whatever. So I load my bike up. I'm so excited. Put my bike... It's the first time that my bike's in the back of my truck. And, you just feel cool, man. You're just like... I don't know. Like, there's just something. Your motorcycle in the bed of your truck. You're 16. Like, it's freedom. We go over there, unload, and we're riding for we ride 2 miles out. We end up at my high school. The trail goes, because they kind of built my high school in the middle of the woods. So there's just this giant field in front of it and this open green patch. So the trail comes out into the field in front of my high school.
Right.
And then goes back in to the woods on the other side. So we had to cross my high school. Right as we get out into this green clearing, my friend's bike, it slings the chain, but it slung the chain through the engine case.
Oh, damn.
And just destroyed it. Destroyed his bike.
Wow.
And I'm in full riding gear. I don't know if you guys know a lot about motocross gear, but the boots that you ride for some
They
heavy
look like
dirt
go-go boots.
some heavy dirt bike riding,
They
they are stiff. They're made so if you crash, you don't snap an ankle.
Right.
So
Right.
the heel is very stiff.
Makes sense.
And then that's what I'm wearing, right? I don't have any other shoes. I'm just wearing these. So he's like, we have to get back to the truck. So I'm like, well, I'll take my bike back. I'll get your truck. I'll meet you over here, and then we'll get it.
Seems like a reasonable plan.
Yeah. So I go to leave on my bike, and I get right where you go. He's probably about a quarter of the way out into this field. I get about right where the woods are, and my bike shuts off. I had forgot to fill it up with fuel before we went out.
Oh, God.
How many miles away? You said 2 miles away?
2 miles away.
Could be worse.
Yes. So, he walks over. He's like, what happened? I'm like, I guess I'm going to have to walk. So I put my bike.
Should have siphoned the fuel out of your friend's bike.
So like we hide the bikes in the woods, and then I hitchhike all the way back.
Mm-hmm.
In these boots. At some point, I take them off, and I'm just barefoot walking down the highway.
Oh.
It's like highway walking down barefoot. Get in my friend's truck. My friend had like a 1989, 1988, something like that, Ford Ranger. 5-speed.
My favorite generation of Ranger too.
Yeah, like the square body one.
Yeah. When I worked on a farm, that was my farm truck.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And his manual. And now I had not driven a manual car at this point. Because of dirt bikes, I knew the concept of a clutch and like the shifting gears and everything. But I wasn't that familiar. Yeah, I wasn't practiced in a vehicle. So I had to figure out how to like drive the truck first. And we get all the way back. I pull the truck out into this field. And I get out. I go to move my bike. What I didn't know, did you guys know that yellow jackets nest in the ground and not in a tree?
I knew that they can. Do they only nest?
Well, I don't know about only, but it's very common for them to nest in the ground.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah, that's my nightmare, is stepping into a beehive.
Yeah. Well,
apparently,
okay.
I put my bike directly on top of one. And they were not very happy about it.
You can imagine.
So as I go to move my bike, all of a sudden I'm noticing things flying around me. And I'm like, what the heck is this? And then all of a sudden, like, ow. Like, sting, left arm, sting, right arm, sting, leg, sting, stomach. And I looked down, and, like, because I had, like, my riding pants on, there was, like, what seemed to be hundreds of them stuck into the pants.
Inside?
No, just on because my pants were so thick, they weren't, like, not all of them were, like, stinging me.
Right.
But because it was so thick, they were stuck in it, like, where they were all trying to sting me.
Oh, wow.
And so because of that, I knew they were out for blood. Like, they were trying to kill me. This was not like one or two. This was the whole swarm.
Well, yeah, you just tried to fuck up their hive.
So what do? Panic. Sheer panic.
I can imagine.
I sprint. So in my head, the first thing that I go to think is, oh, if I get into the truck... if I get into the truck,
honestly, that's what I would try.
They're they can't chase me.
Yeah, it's safety.
So my friend sees me. He's trying to load his bike, and I'm going, bees, 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 and he can see them swarming. That's how many there are. He can see me, and I'm sprinting for the truck. He realizes that I'm sprinting for the truck and goes, oh no, drops his bike off the truck. Just drops his bike, gets into the Ranger, locks the door, and the window was down. The crank window was down, and all I see is him going, trying to roll the window. He locks me out of the truck. Keep in mind, I'm still at a full sprint at this point. So I, like, hazard slide across to the hood of this Ranger, and then I'm like, okay, plan B. What's plan B? What is plan B?
They're high school.
They're stuck in my pants, right?
Right.
I can't have that. I got to get them off.
Mm-hmm.
While I am in a Usain Bolt full sprint across the field of my high school, I am stripping. I am just ripping every gloves off, shirt off. And then I go to take my pants off. Keep in mind, it's not very easy to remove your pants in a full sprint. I didn't stop. That's how fast my mind was going. I was like, I got to get these pants off. Did not think one time to stop running to do it. So I try to pull my pants down, trip myself, and then just tumble through the field of my high school. And as I'm like squirming, trying to like stand up, when I tripped myself, I wrecked my ankle.
Oh.
Like, because I was barefoot.
Right.
Because I took those boots off. I just destroyed my ankle. And then here I am, this like stinging just mess in my underwear in the middle of the field of my high school.
Of your high school. Oh.
And I sit up to my principal just sitting beside us in his truck, just looking at me.
Oh my gosh.
And he was like, Hunter, what are you doing? And how do you explain that "Sir, I was being chased by yellow jackets." So I had to strip in the field of my high school. Luckily, it was like during the summer or something, so like there wasn't any kids at the school.
Yeah,
so
like he didn't get arrested.
Could he see
for,
the welts on your skin? I mean, that's a pretty tall tale sign.
I mean, he probably not enough to notice, but I mean, he ended up letting me go, but letting me go like he could have held me there, but he ended up just being like whatever, like go home.
Right.
But yeah, he never let me live it down.
I would not. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It would have been worse if school was in session.
It would have been real bad.
We had our whole high school had like a glass front, all 4 stories.
Wow,
and,
Mr. Naperville.
Yeah. And there's a kid that streaked on the football field in the snow. He streaked, and basically everyone could see it. So. Could have been worse. You could have been stripping in front of a whole class or whole
Yeah,
school.
I'm very.
But wait, how'd you end up in the hospital? Because of the ankle?
Because I wrecked my ankle.
Did you break it?
I don't think I don't
Fractured it or
remember it
something?
being like broken. I think I tore some tendons or something.
Oh, I see.
I was in a boot
Oh wow.
for a while, yeah, but
Jeez.
no, I don't ever think it actually broke.